Namaste, Marcus here again, and another video today for basically about what's happening in the world as I see it. Because everything I put out is as I see it, mostly from the guidance I'm given. I put these videos out, not 100%, but most of the time I'm guided to what I put out by angels and beings of light and love. And a few times, on a few occasions lately, I've noticed I'm talking to people about what's happening in the world and what they're observing in the world and how chaotic the world is. And of course, because I see the positive of what's happening, because basically I'm being told that this is all part of the plan. Everything that happens is to make us who we need to be at the right time. And I don't see any of this as negative. I see it all as positive, even though while we go through some of the things that are happening in the world today, it can't seem anything else at the time but tragic or horrific or terrible. You can't make sense of all these people that are dying of COVID, and you can't make sense of people getting made homeless or being put out of work. It's not something you can say. All you could say is, and all I will say is, that all this is happening for a very good reason. And I was guided to call this from chaos to harmony. And then I realised, I've done that before. And I thought, because my memory's not brilliant, to be honest, I thought, I must have done a video a couple of years ago on this. But it wasn't a video. I remember now. It was actually 1995 that I did a talk for the Theosophical Society in Wallasey called From Chaos to Harmony. And it was part of a trilogy of videos about Tai Chi, balance and equilibrium. And that video came out, and actually I think it was on that video that I said for the first time, and I only realised it of course in 2000, late on in 2016, that we're getting a new download. Human beings are being given a new operating system, and it's being downloaded to us and changing us into this new being that is a spiritual first, material second being. And that was in 1995. And of course, since then, I've forgotten all about it, said that, until I did some stuff in 2016 when I was woken up about ascension. And I suddenly realised that actually these downloads I've been getting and experiencing lately, I predicted this in 1995, 94, 95, and it suddenly clicked. I was told this then. And of course, because I was never really into channeling or anything in those days, the fact is most of us are channeling all the time. And I don't usually now sit and take messages. I just normally have stuff come through me. And I think that's what people are doing 24/7. But of course you have to be in the right space to pick up the messages, if you like. I've said it before, I'll use the same analogy. It's like talking to your friend on a high-rise building and he's on the 5th floor and you're shouting up from the ground floor, hey Rob, can you hear me? And he can't hear you. So you get a cherry picker and you go up to the 4th floor and then you shout up, hey Rob, can you hear me? Of course he can hear you. And it's like that for us. We have raised our vibration to such a high level now that we can spend so much time, our consciousness can spend so much time in 5D, as we call it. All these things we talk about, they're just words. They're just our way of explaining our understanding of something. So, you know what I mean if I talk about 4D, 3D, 5D, 5th dimension. And it's our consciousness that's there. And of course our consciousness is directly linked to our being, our physical being. So a lot of the stuff that comes to our brain, our mind, and then our brain, is coming from those higher realms, basically. So anyway, I digress as usual. And of course, Chaos to Harmony was 1994, 95. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because when I wrote the website in, I think, beginning of 2017, I put some articles about Mr. Trump being in office and Brexit and how crazy it all seems, but that it's all happening for a reason. And I was talking to someone the other day about this, and they were saying, oh, the world's so terrible and it's all mad and I can't cope, and why is everything so the way it is? That's a good name for a website, that. Ah, yes. I think I've used it. So, that's what's happening now. We're in this phase of chaos, because out of chaos comes a new creation. And that is what chaos is. Chaos is like throwing everything up in the air so that when it lands, it creates something new. It's, if you think about the way we talk about whether it's true or not, who knows, how our solar system was found and how the universe came into being, everything was moving and liquid and it joined together, and then planets hit each other and everything was bouncing off each other. So from all that chaos came a structure we call our solar system. And it's the same for us in life. Through birth, as children, we go through all these pangs of pain and discomfort and trying to understand where we are. And as adults, as we grow older, through our lives, this is happening all the time to us. But we tend not to understand what's going on. Our universe is actually full of this concept of from chaos to harmony. And my dad, God bless him, always used to say, out of evil comes good. And it's a bit like that as well. It's out of chaos comes a new creation. And all the old religions basically say the same thing. One day there's going to be a nirvana for us to live in. And that's where we're heading now. I can't say when it is, but I know it's coming. And what we're going through now is so that we wake up. So that we, we've been shaken, not stirred, basically. We've been shaken. Come on, get yourself together. You got to wake up. How long are you going to be doing this for? And we're in that state now. Enough of us have raised our consciousness to such a high level that we can change the world. And we can make it happen by just wishing it so. We have reached that level where we can create our new world if we want. And let's face it, we want to. And it's made us realise something. That and Brexit and all these things, they're shaking us up, turning us over so that we can look at things afresh and anew. And all this lockdown that we're in, that we've been in, is to help us to sit and think about how we want to live our lives, basically. There's a lot of people very upset because obviously there's no money and are having real difficult times. So we have to hope that others can help them if the government won't. And this is the thing that is causing the most distress to a lot of people. How are you going to live? How are you going to pay for your bills? How are you going to buy your food for your kids? These are the difficult things. But besides all that, and we know this is a really difficult situation, what we have to do is find ways so that we're all looked after by our society. And this is the new thing that we need to do now. People talk about the fact that our money systems are changing, and they have to really, because the way it is now is all wrong. And this is all going to happen in the next few years, no doubt. And we're changing for this new start so that our children and our children's children will have a new way of living life. And we've realised this in the last year, the last 6 months, last 9 months, how much of our lives wasn't right. By sitting at home with nothing to do except think and looking what's important, watching your loved ones die, God forbid, and watching those who are ill, who you can't get into touch with and you can't touch or kiss or hug. These things are terrible and really difficult for people. But it's making people understand what is important. And I've said this all along. It's people that are important. Nothing else really. And how we are with people and how we react with people and how they react with us. When we talk about love, it's love for everything. But our interaction each day is with people, with children, with adults, with as well as the animals and the creatures out there and the nature. And these are the things that we're starting to understand, the things that are really important to us. And hopefully it's going to make our world a much better place very soon. And that's where from chaos we get harmony. As we get understanding about how we should be living our lives, how we should be treating others, how we should be giving what we don't need to others, how we should be caring more for the planet so that we can continue being alive, and things like this. Anyway, I think I've said enough for one day. I just wanted to get this out there so that people are understanding a bit. From chaos, we're going to find harmony. And that's what we all need. Have a think about what it is you find now is most important to you that you never had in your mind before. Not as much. Namaste. Take care. Stay well. Try and stay happy. Understand that everything's happening for the greater good.